Hey guys, how you doing? It's the Intuitive Investor here in some random ass parking lot. Wanted to give you a 1 week recap of FSD PHARMA. So I'm going to try to make this as quickly as possible so this guy over here doesn't get all freaked out. Anyhow, so news came out on the 27th that HMMJ Horizon, it's an ETF that decided to add FSD on top of others to their ETF. So if you look at the chart that I got posted up right here, there's a number of other familiar names like Tilray, G-Tech that you might be familiar with. They manage about $1 billion in assets. And according to the site, they just recently allocated about 1.9% of that $1 billion to FSD all by itself, which means that it's about $19 million in investments towards FSD Farm. So I'm all about that. Let's see what else came in the news. Some other random stuff about them being okay with some approval, but I wanted to show you this 1 month chart that I have right here. Last week I really thought that the stock was going to zoom up. It didn't, so apparently some people were unhappy and whatever. You know, one of the things that I warned you guys about is that this stock is a very high risk stock, so you got to be careful. You got to be willing to lose your ass if that's what you're going to do. But you also got to be willing to pop those bottles once that stock goes up. So if you look at the 1 month chart here, you want to see that there was a number of things happening right around the 10th. If you look at that from 4th to about the 10th of September, it rose and then it kind of went back down, and it went back down for the next 3 to 4 days. Right around September 14th, it began to pick up. And right around a week after that, it topped off, and then it began to kind of consolidate for the entire week. I actually didn't think it was going to consolidate that long. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's just the way it happened. So right around Friday, I thought that we would actually be up. It actually had gone down, and then it began to creep up, and finally we closed up a whopping penny. What can I say? Up a penny, down a penny, take a penny, leave a penny. You know, when you're at the gasoline station, that's what they say. Don't be that guy that takes 3 pennies and just never gives anything back. So, other than that, let's see. I thought I had one last thing to consider. No, that's about it. It's I'm losing in 2 of my fantasy leagues, so I'm kind of upset. Now I got this dinner to go to, so I'm going to miss my Baltimore Ravens game. So other than that, my prediction for this week, my feeling for this week, and looking at this chart that I had showed you, I think we're going to see some upward movement. October 17th is literally right around the corner, so my feeling is that we're probably going to get some traction. One last tidbit that I did want to mention. I'd read online that CGC had ended up losing a crop. I don't know if you guys read about that or heard about that, but I was receiving conflicting reports, and one report had said that they had lost a crop due to fungus, and another report had said that they had lost the crop because they had to destroy it because they hadn't received the green light or the licensing to harvest it, and that's the reason why they lost it. I don't know which one's which, but if they did lose the crop to fungus, really it's a sign that we got to be careful with some of these pot stocks, that you can lose crops. And if you lose crops due to pestilence or acts of nature or acts of God, or due to whatever is happening out in the environment, that there's money to be lost because there's crops to be lost, and all that hard work is just down the drain. We want to remember that FSD is doing it differently, though. They're doing it indoors, so they're minimizing their risk of any of that stuff that I mentioned. So I think what we could expect is supply and demand issues, which bodes well for FSD and for those that are looking to provide medical grade marijuana. Other than that, really, the only thing that came up, I was reading another article that said that research has showed that when in states it goes from medical use to recreational use, there's a small drop in money being made off the medical side of it. But the research also showed that a few months after, those companies end up recovering. And they end up recovering because The quality of marijuana at the recreational level just isn't pure enough. It isn't good enough. It isn't as pristine or pure enough at the medical level. And as you know, FSD PHARMA is just devoting and dedicating all their efforts into the most purest, greenest, yeah, that's what they're focusing on. So for me, it's a positive sign. Let's see what October brings us. I think we're going to see some upward movement this week. So again, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I am the Intuitive Investor, and if you aren't already following me, please do so on StockTwits. And I appreciate all the comments and all the feedback. Let's keep it clean, guys. All right, take care. Bye.